some rolling exercises for our jaw area, for our temple area, and for this area behind our ear. For a lot of us, we can express stress through clenching the jaw, through shoulders hiking up towards the ears, through brow furrowing. So this can be a really nice stress relief exercise. That said, with any myofascial rolling, it is quite a bit of pressure that we're applying to these little muscles of the face. So if at any point you feel a sharp sensation of pain, you're going to come away from the movement. You might use a foam block or something instead of the firm ball. But ask questions, tune in, give it a shot, and if it's not feeling good, you don't have to stay there. We'll start by locating our mastoid process. So if you reach around, we'll start on the right ear and find your ear. You're coming right behind the ear. You'll find this bony section. And then around, if you come a little bit down from that bony section, it gets a little bit squishier. We're going to place the tune-up ball right at that area on the edge of that bony section, at the squishy part at the top of the side of your neck. I'm coming into this exercise on my side with a block underneath my tune-up ball. So I'm placing the tune-up ball on the block. I'm side lying, so I like to bend my knees here just so I don't worry about flopping over. Taking that tune-up ball, placing it on the block, and then locating that spot, that bony protrusion at the back of my ear. This is gonna feel a little bit awkward, especially if you're newer to this exercise. Yeah, tuck yourself in with a blanket, get comfy with the lower body. I want you to concentrate, to focus on relaxing down into the sensation. Maybe you also have a cat to pet. We know from experience, from other rolling exercises, about 90 seconds, 120 seconds of static pressure. And we already start to receive the benefits of this work, the release of adhesions, the increase in hydration between layers of muscle and fascia. So know that you could stay right here in stillness and you'd be doing everything right. Maybe you close the eyes down. And can you notice your breath? When we're doing movements that are new or foreign to us, the breath tends to get a little shorter. We tend to furrow across the brow. You look for space in that forehead area. Top hand can be on the earth supporting you. You can use that left hand to press into the ground and take some of your weight if the weight of the tune-up ball on the side of your head feels like a little bit too much. If it's feeling okay, let's use our breath to find just a little contract and relax here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, tighten your jaw, and press your head down into the prop. And then relax that effort. You can stay right here, or you can start to lift the jaw and lower the jaw like you're shaking your head yes. This can feel really uncomfortable. So know that if it's not for you, that's a-okay. But know also that with familiarity, with practice, some MFR or myofascial release exercises begin to feel a little bit more comfortable and actually can feel a little bit like self-care. Common to experience a little strain in your top neck. You can lean your chest a little bit more towards the ground to help relieve that. Left hand can be on the earth or in front of your belly. Keep breathing and pause. Option here, we'll start to draw tiny little circles with your chin, really small. Again, noticing, is there something else in your body that's tightening up in resistance to this work? Are you making a fist? Are you squeezing the eyes shut? Can you relax? Breathe. Try to tell your nervous system it's okay. We're not really under attack, although it might feel that way. One more breath, teeny little circles. We're not going to stay here too long. This is a bit of an awkward area to roll. And then when you're ready, Plant your top hand on the earth. Lift your head away from the prop and let your chin, or sorry, the side of your head come down to your block. Can you relax your upper shoulder? Just give yourself a moment to breathe here, to be here. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe open and close the jaw a few times. And when you're ready, we're going to move to the joint of our jaw, our masseter, this muscle that runs from the top jaw down. Small guy, but if you take your your index finger and middle finger and place them on the side of your jaw on the right and open and close your mouth a few times, you'll feel a little movement under your fingertips. And that's the area we want to place this ball, essentially right over the joint on the side of the face. Again, if at any point it's not feeling super comfortable, you can do the same exercise, just pressing this part of your body gently into your foam block. We'll come back onto the block, letting the side of your head, the jaw, rest on that tune-up ball on the block. If it feels like, yeah, it's right over it. Usually, no, great point. But in this case, yes, because there's not a lot of real estate here. Yeah, this one in SI area, we do roll more directly over the bone. But I'm glad you're listening. Thank you. Yeah, be really cautious if it feels at any point like a acute or sharp sensation. We are looking even here for that more dull, kind of broader sensation. Might just rest gently on your prop. Again, top hand can really press into the earth to help take some of the weight. Same with your bottom forearm. You can press that into the ground and help relieve some of the pressure. Or you can really relax the head down into the prop and just notice that sensation. Take a deep, full breath in. And sigh it out. You can stay right here, or you can start to find a little lift and lower of the chin, like you're shaking or nodding your head, yes. Move really slowly. Maybe just a centimeter up and a centimeter down. Yeah, if using your block feels like a little bit too much pressure, you can remove the block. You could do this right on the mat, but I find it a bit harder to control the pressure because my shoulder's in the way. You could take a softer surface or a smaller surface like a book or a pillow and stick that underneath your prop so that the elevation isn't as high and the pressure isn't as great. So feel free to really adapt to play around. What serves you well in one muscle might not be what serves you well in another. And last option here, you might start to open and close your mouth, thinking about dropping that bottom jaw. It can feel super crunchy, super weird. So know that weird is okay, again, as long as we're not getting that sharp sensation of acute pain. If you try it and you're like, oh, absolutely not, don't do it. It's okay. I offer these variations, these different techniques for rolling as tools in your toolkit. Which ones serve you best personally? What works for you isn't going to be what works for me. So try one, try the other, or hang out in stillness if that's what feels good. this is a fun one to make a video of. Look at my face. I'm so sleep deprived, guys. All right, next time we close the jaw, I know I said that was the last one, but this is the last one for real. You might shake your head no ever so slightly. It's going to be like half a centimeter. Just the teeniest sort of downward drop of your chin, and then roll back towards the ear. Downward drop of the chin, back towards the ear. Small, small, small movements. Oof. Are you breathing? Oh, but that Noah Kahn concert was totally worth it. One more time, deep breath in. And we'll exhale, pressing yourself up to a seated position. This is a great place to, again, take stock. Open and close the jaw. Notice if it feels super weird or asymmetrical, kind of piratey. Maybe you open and close the eyes a few times. Very common to notice these ripple effects when we create space in one part. There's interwoven bands of fascia that encase and wrap around several muscles on the lateral side of the body. Might have a sensation of more space. So drop your neck or your left ear towards your left shoulder. And then your right ear towards your right shoulder. Totally. Me too. Yeah. That's why I said that. That's super weird. Whoa. We're going to do one more on the right side before doing all three of these again on the left. We'll target our temple this time. So when you've got a headache and you reach up to give yourself a little bit of a massage, this area outside the eyes, you can play around with the exact placement of the tune-up ball. I'm taking it, finding a spot that feels kind of interesting. You always have the option, by the way, instead of leaning down on the ball, of just sitting, applying pressure with your hands. This can be a really nice option that gives you a bit more control than lying down on the block. I'm sorry, I definitely should have told you this for the other two options, but here we are. Live and learn. Thanks for coming on the journey. So your choice. You can stay seated, or again, we come back down onto that block, and again, just relax if you can. And it's okay if you can't. Some people have accused me of having no chill. And so I understand that relaxation, that slowing the heck down inside the brain and the body can be a challenge. For this part of the body, I invite you to either number one, stay in stillness, or number two, really play with it. Folks know the techniques now. You might, again, shake that head no, this little side to side rolling, nod the head yes, or you might combine those, drawing little circles with the chin. But I want you to close your eyes down and just try one, try the other, find what feels good. Cultivating the skill of retraining our body how to take in this sensory input and make decisions based on it. We go through so much of our day suppressing cues from our body, not going pee because you're in the meeting, or you're like really close to finishing that task, and so your reward for finishing the task is you can go pee. Like, what? Guys, we can do better. Like, get a bubble tea or something. Yeah. Maybe you're drawing little circles. Maybe you're just pressing down into the prop and then relaxing. Or maybe you're hanging out exactly where you are and breathing. Yeah, that is a good choice. Thanks, Harvey. I know, they are great. Look at all these great students. If you are working with a little bit of movement, can you let that slowly come to a halt? Just close your eyes down if they're open, or soften the gaze if closing the eyes doesn't feel safe. Get nice and heavy through the lower body, through the side body. Picture the part of your forehead, your temple, that is connected with the prop. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, gentle pressure. Nice and slow. We'll take our top hand down, press yourself back up to a seated position. If your eyes felt weird and kind of asymmetrical before, how do they feel now? Ooh, like I gotta blink a few times. How does it feel to move the jaw or circle the head out? And just building that skill of noticing. You know our landmarks now. We'll be switching sides. Locating that area behind the ear. This is the sternocleidomastoid, maybe. Don't quote me on that. In our mastoid process, sits towards the top of that ear. You can place the tune-up ball behind that left ear. You can feel the bony protrusion. That's the process at the back of the ear. And then the muscle inserts along there. So we're half on the bone, half in the muscle, coming down onto our sides. Okay, curious cat, come over here. But don't sit on my mic, please. Do you notice a big difference side to side? This one felt really uncomfortable for me on the right. It's feeling a lot easier to sink into it on this side. Maybe I just landmarked it better on this side. Or maybe something in my day-to-day life. I have two monitors at work, so maybe I'm like looking more at one than the other. Causes a little asymmetry in this area, or looking down or looking up, or I don't know. Don't always have to be able to explain why. But we've been talking all class about building that body awareness. So what do you notice? Can you relax through the inner thighs? Get heavy through your pelvis. Feel the left side of your body where it touches your mat. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, gentle downward relaxation into your prop. Not pressing down, but just getting a little heavier. Again, stay right here. Or you might start to lift and lower the chin. Noticing if the breath is a little short. Can you deepen it? Notice if you're like me and you're rushing through the lift and lower, go 50% slower than you are already going. And next time you come through center, pause. Might feel good to do that little tiny roll, like you're shaking your head no. And be really small. Just kind of leaning the skull back, leaning it forward. But if you try it in one area, one part of that motion feels really uncomfortable, you clench your jaw, you hold your breath, don't do it. We're always erring on the side of ease and myofascial release. Keeping the muscles relaxed, the body as relaxed as possible into the props is going to increase the efficacy of this work. So if your body's resisting by tightening up, we're going to move away from it until you become more comfortable with the exercise. And then maybe you add those additional variations of movement in, or maybe you don't. Let's take one more breath here. Coming back to stillness, we'll lift our head and just let your head rest down on your block for a moment. Can you feel that side of your head, the side of your neck, maybe a little more spacious, maybe a little more in contact with the block? Take a deep breath in. And exhale, press, lift your head. We'll take that tune-up ball and tuck it underneath that joint of the jaw. You can reach up with your fingertips and landmark it. Remember, you can always be up in a seated position. And just using your hands to apply this pressure. Just because you lay down on the right side doesn't mean you have to do the same on the left. I like to keep my knees bent because that helps keep me from feeling like I'm going to tip forward. But I encourage you just to find a position of ease in the lower body. Even here, are you clenching a little through the jaw? Relax your lower jaw. Can you breathe and soften the muscles around your eyes? Maybe you stay right here. Or maybe you start that tiny nod of your head, yes. Ooh, this nodding feels a bit ickier for me on this side. But I think it's a good icky, so I'm going to keep working with it. It's one of this body awareness training that we're doing helps you distinguish, and you know this from your yoga practice probably, the difference between good pain and bad pain. And I wouldn't even say pain is necessarily the word, but like effort, you know, when you're holding in that lateral split and you're like, ugh, this is effortful, but it's not bad pain. And with MFR, we're just teaching ourselves new definitions of good and bad pain. What does it feel like in this context? This lift and lower of the chin is staying a bit icky for me, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to not use it. But if it's continuing to work for you, awesome. I'm just going to hang out in stillness. Maybe you start to shake the head no. Again, really small. We're trying to keep the muscle in contact with the tune-up ball so we're not rolling off of it. Ooh. That was dangerous. It's a long way off this block. Can you relax, especially that upper shoulder area? Yeah, good adjustments. Maybe go a little slower. Alana. Yeah, okay. Thanks, boss. 99% of the cues are things I'm telling myself to do. You guys just get to eavesdrop on my internal conversation with me. I'm sorry, that's not a position of privilege. Look at this belly asking to be rubbed. Ah! He bit me. I deserved it. It was a trap. The belly was a trap. If you have a cat, you know what I mean. Coming back to stillness, last option for movement here. You might open and close the jaw. Yep, it's feeling terrible for me on this side, so I'm not going to do that, but you might. Either way, just continue to breathe. You can always reach down, subtly adjust the position of the tune-up ball. I'm not falling for that again, Harvey. And let's take one more round of breath. Maybe you sigh it out. Again, we'll press into your bottom arm, your top arm, lift your head. And slide that tune-up ball aside. Just letting the head come down to your block. Maybe you've got a book. Maybe you're all the way down on the mat. Or you have a pillow or something. How does that side of your jaw feel? You can open and close the lower jaw a few times here. Open and close the mouth. Big breath in. Let it go. When you're ready, we'll press ourselves up, lift the head, and we're taking that tune-up ball underneath the left temple. Again, you're landmarking just on the side of your left eye. Obviously not rolling into our eye. Really common here for your body to tense up in resistance to this. I have a 3 or 4 inch block. Yeah, I have a 4-inch block. So this is a lot of pressure. If you have a bigger block like this at home, you might use a different prop instead. This is a part of your forehead or area that you could remove the block entirely and just rest your head down on the mat. Works a little better than the jaw muscles. And breathe. Stay or start to welcome some of those intuitive movements. Maybe a little rolling of your jaw, like you're drawing teeny circles with your lower jaw, your chin. Or maybe the shake of the head no, or nod of the head yes feels better. Most likely you're going to explore all 3 and notice how they produce different sensations. And you relax through the inner thighs, through the jaw. Get heavy through your torso. Continue to explore some movements or pause. Take a deep breath in. Maybe you sigh it out. And nice and slow, we'll press ourselves up. And we'll make our way back to a seated position. Again, what does your body intuitively want to do? I want to reach up, massage my jaw, open and close it a few times. Maybe reach for the temples, massage those out with your fingertips. Or maybe just hanging out in stillness feels better. Does your lower jaw feel even side to side? Do those muscles around your eyes feel relaxed or tense? Close your eyes. Does it feel like you're sitting up just as tall on the left side of your torso as the right? Inventory the changes that your practice produces. We train our brain, our nervous system to notice these things. Maybe you smile and see how that gesture feels. We're using some of these muscles, these areas that we just rolled. Yeah, big, beautiful smiles. I love it. Nice. Let's close with one big breath in and a big sigh out. Let go of all the observations, the judgments. Deep breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out. Thanks so much, friends.